Is this a joke, Bungie? Are you fucking kidding me? This has to be a new low for Bungie. Not even just Bungie, but maybe Sony in general. 30 FPS on the PS4 Pro. Granted, they promise 4K, but as we all know, 4K on the PS4 Pro is not true 4K, which is already a big slap in the face to people who bought the console. But to take a game like Destiny and prioritize 4K compatibility over 60 FPS is a fucking bigger slap to the face of people who bought the PS4 Pro. Now, as you may all know, I'm not a big console enthusiast. My preference lies in the PC, for many reasons. But that does not mean I'm not looking out for my console brethren. Look at it from this perspective. Imagine you had a good friend who didn't want to game on PC. So he chose a PS4 Pro, and that's fine and all. I honestly don't mind people choosing a console over a PC, but could you imagine that if he bought the PS4 Pro with the expectations of better performance and better resolution, even if he doesn't have a 4K TV, and then he receives news that tells him, oh, well, we can't get to 60 FPS, so we're gonna prioritize trying to get fake 4K, and then all of the benefits to buying the PS4 Pro go out the window. I could not imagine how much of a slap in the face that feels to owners of the PS4 Pro. I don't know much about the Scorpio version, perhaps it will run at 4K 60 FPS, but as for PS4 Pro owners, this is a joke. Bungie is a joke. And I'm not only putting the blame on Bungie, but I'm looking at you too, Sony, because you spent this time hyping the PS4 Pro. You finally release it, and you don't even prioritize having developers patch for better performance and better resolution. You just released a damn thing out there for what? So that maybe some of the games run at 4K? Maybe some of them get better frame rate? You rip off your customers. You look at them in the face and you tell them, you want better performance? Nah, then scrap that other console we sold you and buy this new $400 console so that you can maybe get better performance on some games. It's not a guarantee, but maybe. We're not going to prioritize it. We're not going to make developers make patches for it. Just some. Just the ones that feel like it. This is why we PC gamers criticize the living fuck out of Sony. It's things like this that piss us off. They milk every cent they can out of you. They sell you hardware with no purpose other than bragging rights. And it's the same fucking thing Microsoft's trying to do to you. They're trying to sell you a more powerful box. And for what? So that you have bragging rights? So then what could be the excuse this time? Why hasn't Bungie prioritized 1080p 60 FPS for Destiny 2? Well, according to Bungie themselves, it will not run at 60 on the Pro. I don't want people to continue hope. We're going to be matter of fact about stuff like this. The PS4 Pro is super powerful. Oh, fuck off. Fuck off with that shit. But it couldn't run our game at 60. Our games, this rich physics simulation with collision and players, networking, etc. It wouldn't run. Not enough horsepower there yet. Bungie, get your shit together. If a game cannot run at 60 FPS on a console like the PS4 Pro, that console is not powerful to begin with. I understand that the selling point to the PS4 Pro is that it can play games at 4K, not even real 4K, but nonetheless, it can play the games at 4K. But there were a lot of people out there who bought into the PS4 Pro, believing that if they at least didn't have a 4K TV, there would be some workaround, a way to play games at 1080p 60 FPS. But no. You're more prideful in the visual fidelity of your game than you are for the performance of the game, which is an absurd mindset. Bungie goes on to say, but there's tons of GPU power in the PS4 Pro, and that's why we're doing 4K, right? Bungie, that's exactly the problem here. 4K is your target, and it seems it's your only target. Did you ever think that perhaps 1080p 60 FPS, maybe it would suffice? It's on the CPU side. Destiny simulation, like we have more AI, more monsters in an environment with physically simulated vehicles and characters and projectiles. And it's part of the Destiny magic. Like 30 seconds of fun, like coming around a corner and throwing a grenade, popping a guy in the head, and then you add like 5, 6, 7 other players in a public event that is incredibly intensive for hardware. Exactly, Bungie. It is intensive for hardware. So did you ever think about perhaps turning down the settings, maybe lowering the anti-aliasing, lowering the shadows here or there, setting the textures to medium. Did you ever think about doing something like that? Oh fuck, of course you didn't. Because why would anybody want 60 FPS when you have 4K? And I can get that there's a bottleneck issue going on here. The CPU isn't good enough for that GPU, which makes me wonder why you guys even popped it in there. Oh wait, that's right, I know why. Because you knew that they would buy it either way. Because you advertised 4K. And you failed at it. You suck at it. PS4 Pro owners shouldn't have to deal with your shit. Everybody at this point knows this is Bungie being lazy. They don't give a shit, and neither does Sony. But you know who does? I do. Me. A so-called PC elitist. I care because I hate seeing my fellow gamers get ripped off. I hate seeing them be happy investing in a new system with the promise of better performance. And once the bigger games come out, once the games that they've been waiting to play at 60 FPS 4K come out, and that promise isn't delivered to them, it sickens me. There's absolutely no reason why any PS4 owner should be putting up with this shit. Not from Bungie, and not from Sony. You're both being the same greedy corporations that you've always been. You decide for the gamers. You don't ask what they would prefer. You think and you assume for them. Not once does it cross your mind that, gee, perhaps there are console gamers out there that would want to play this game at 60 FPS. Because there's so many benefits to playing a game at 60 FPS. But nah, them graphics are more important. I can guarantee you that if you were to go and ask PS4 owners and Xbox owners whether they would rather play this game at 1080p, heck, even 900p 60 FPS, there would be a large percentage that would choose 60 FPS 900p. 30 FPS for a first-person shooter in 2017 is unacceptable. It's a joke to the gaming industry and to the gamers. Console owners aren't stupid. They know very well that 60 FPS is achievable if settings are turned down. They see it on the PC all the time. It's obviously possible on a PS4 Pro. But yet again, you choose to act like they're idiots. To my fellow PS4 Pro owners, take note because Bungie just slapped you in the face. Alright, with all that being said, be sure to follow me on Twitter, join my Discord, and add me on Steam. Links are in the description below as always. And if any of you ever feel like sending me a nice long written letter, my PO box is down in the description below as well. And I encourage all of you to write the stupidest comments you possibly could so that I can pick some for next week. And with that being said, it was great seeing all of you and your gorgeous sexy faces. Except you, Bungie. Fuck off.